Greetings friends, it's me, Wayman29, out here on the biking trail again. Really nice day. The wind's nice and cool. And apologize if this is a little bumpy. I'm trying to better train the monkey that is attached to my bike to hold the camera still for us. Just wanted to come back on and give an update on where I'm at in the Quran and a little introduction to what I've been thinking about. I now have the Quran 3/4 read. I'm going through it kind of fast, but just kind of want to see what it says, huh? And that's all I've been doing for like the last 3 days, working and reading. And so today I have to do a few things with my wife so she doesn't think that I have forgotten about her. Anyways, to start off, I'm going to say I am not a believer of Islam, and the theology of Islam may be far different than what I observe or what my opinion is. So it's good to go and check it out for yourself if you're wondering, and try not to believe everything that I say, because as I said, I'm not a follower. A lot of flies out here, but I'm approaching this trying to approach this constructively. And usually my approach to any belief system is the way of the two women, or the two wives. And people might say, what is the way of the two wives? You have the ex-wife of the belief system, and you have the new wife of the belief system. And you can use both to find out everything you want to know about belief systems, both the good and the bad. And to me, the literature is like a picture. Just like a picture, it's worth 1,000 words. The literature is presented. With all of its received imperfections, it hangs on the wall. People walk by. People that don't know anything about it can try to interpret it to themselves. People that know about it can try to interpret it to themselves. And hopefully the picture will be liked by some. It will not be liked by some. So that's how you have it. But anyways, back to the technique, or the idea of the two wives. The ex-wife, she'll tell you everything you want to know about it, with a slant, because the ex-wife hates you, and she will do everything in her power if she thinks it will hurt you, to tell everybody about it. So what I mean by the ex-wife, an example of this would be a couple years back with Mormonism. Actually, it was a while back, probably about 10 years now. There was a split of these two Mormons who became evangelical. The Sanders, they put up a website, and they started putting out all this anti-Mormon propaganda. Some of it was pretty good, because what they did was they illegally posted the church, Book of Mormon church handbook. And it was great because it showed the administration of the church and such things. And I would not have that had it not been for the ex-wife. So you have to take what they say to the grain of salt. Because the ex-wife will say, the guy's a bum, he didn't make the payments for child support. But the new wife will say, hey, we had to buy groceries and gas that month. So yes. So all you can get from that, the payments were not made, but the context of it and the circumstances may be very different. So use both the wife of the belief system and the ex-wife, and you will find out loads of interesting material. So, there needs to be a certain amount of respect taken, and when looking at the metaphor and looking at these pieces of religious literature, and both sides must be given. So that's what I'm going to try to do here. So if you're a devout Muslim, you flow between the two banks of Allah, the narrow path, the straight path. You feel that maybe something that I would say may be harmful or something to your belief system. I totally understand that, and you can turn this video off now. For those who stay, I'm finding this text really interesting, and I would encourage anybody who first starts to read it from the back to the front. This was, according to Muslim view, theologically placed in spiritual order, or it was the order of the sutras were given to be placed in a divine order, so to speak. So they are not in historical order. So I'm trying to put the sutras in historical order to find out who were some of the people talked about, who was being addressed, and in what context were they being addressed, and then how did that expand to be a message to the whole world, which is very interesting. So right off the bat, I see a lot of influences. And when I say influences, I don't mean Islam stole, you know, as some would say, stole the writings of other and ideas of other cultures and implemented it into its own, because as with all religions, there's a cultural diffusion that happens, and everybody did it. So to me, it's not a big deal. So you see large influences, speeches against the nations, etc., etc. Prophets like Isaiah, Jeremiah, Amos. Also the idea of idols. And this is an interesting thing because Isaiah, Jeremiah talk about idols of wood and stone, how they cannot answer. You get a lot of that in the Quran. However, the peoples, if you learned about them, of the ancient Near East, knew that they were just representations of the deities, and these idols or images or sculptures were not the deities themselves, but just representations. And at times, they believed the deity would work through these things, and that these things of wood and metal and stone that is complained about in Isaiah, Jeremiah, these people knew that they were in fact not the gods themselves. So you get that idea quite a bit in the Quran. Also, as I said before, the judgment of the nations, stuff like Amos, Hosea, Isaiah, Jeremiah. Also, you want to look at Zoroastrianism and what that contributed, and how that compares to the Quran. And you can check that out. Check out Zoroastrianism's ideas and views of the prophets, their views on monotheism, and some of the literature. It's very hard to read Zoroastrianism. A lot of stuff to it. Also, Book of Enoch and the ideas about Enoch. Tobit, post-exilic literature, because in Tobit, here you have the first time an angel is named in biblical literature, and also the idea of demons, angels performing certain things. And it was after post-exilic literature that you get ideas of dimensions. So check out some of that. Check out some of the apocryphal works, pseudo-epigraphical works, and ideas on fighting in battle, and those kinds of questions, check out the Bhagavad Gita, because in my opinion, the exchange is seen also in the sutras of the Quran, and also ideas from the Vedas, and the ancient Near Eastern hymns to Shamash might be valid here, and also apocalyptic literature. Check out early Christian apocalyptic literature, stuff like Revelation and the apocalypses from the Gnostic texts and the Nag Hammadi Library, those kinds of ideas. And also check out the Gnostic view of the crucifixion of Christ. So you look at this and you compare it cross-culturally. It's a beautiful, beautiful piece of literature. And I came across one sutra where it talks about where Muhammad, peace be upon him, is telling, he's addressing people who are trying to make an agreement with him. I believe in this text is taken that way. Make an agreement with him on beliefs and ideas, and he says, my gods are not your gods. My beliefs are not, essentially, my beliefs are not your beliefs. And, basically tells them that, we're a separate people and we'll continue to be that way. So, unlike the text of Ruth, where total opposite is happening, where Ruth says to Naomi, my God will be your God, my people your people. So you get that, you get those kinds of things being portrayed in the Quran, and we could do this. This is what I mean by doing it responsibly and constructively. In the Jewish texts of when the Israelis in the Torah, or just after that, text of where they're coming into the land of promise, they're told to scope out the land, and they send out spies. Send out spies. And Joshua and Caleb go out, and with the other spies. The other spies, they bring back fear when they scoped out the land. And they said, giants over there. And so Caleb and Joshua said, who seem to be much braver, said, a totally different report. Hey, we could do this. Let's walk in there. So that's how the metaphor stands. You get messengers that come back, present a scary picture, one that is painted with the emotions of people, and then you get the report that comes back. We can do this. We can walk through this. So that's what we're doing, friends. We're checking out the burning bush. The literature will not be consumed, so no fear. And I'm trying to give a good report. So look into look into some of those influences if you wish, and check that out. Check out the ancient Near Eastern literature. It's beautiful stuff, and also Eastern literature. So that's where I'm at right now. So I think what I want to do is come back on at some point when I'm read well enough and pull out some of these ideas for comparison in some of my other videos. So this is just like a secular point of view of it, and it's not to be taken as a belief system. So thanks guys at Islam Chat who helped me out with all this stuff, gave me commentaries and links, and you've been very helpful at answering questions on Islamic theology. And if anybody ever has any questions about all that stuff, you could just go in and just ask them, point blank. Just ask them, be honest, and if they jump all over you, tell them you're not an evangelical. they'll answer much better, because for some reason, just like the Muslim comes into an evangelical, there's this whole thing about the room where you know, a lot of presumptions are thrown. But just say hey, or you can just say, hey, I'm an evangelical and I just have a question. You know, what is the Muslim theology on this, or what is the Muslim view on this? And I'm here to study the religion of Islam and not the people of Islam. But me, I'm here to study both, and we'll find out what lies ahead down the trail. So take care, friends, and remember, if everybody's thinking alike, then somebody isn't thinking.